Damn Knicks. The Kings get slapped up and hacked up by the Knicks on Saturday evening. Did you see that? Did you see Jalen Brunson come into the G1C and torch us for 42 points? Nobody was able to hold Jalen Brunson last night. In Sacramento, the Kings go down to the New York Knicks 98-91, which now brings the Sacramento Kings record to 38-28. And the New York Knicks climbed to 40-27. For a minute, the Kings fell to 7th place. But with the Suns losing today, the Kings are back up to 6th place. This race is crazy. It's so up and down right now. It's unbelievable how much movement there is on a day-to-day basis. But as of right now, currently, the Kings are in 6th place with a half game over the Mavericks and a virtual tie with the Suns and a half game behind the Pelicans. Today is March 17th, 2024. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you're here for the whole video. I have some interesting things to talk about today. And I just want to say thank you for joining me. And what's going on, YouTube? What's going on with all my folks and all you Kings fans out there? It's your guy, Jay Woods, aka Shy the Man, and I'm back at you with another episode of the Kings Morning After Midday Cup of Joe with Jay.
Ah! I love it.
Oh man, my cup of Joe today, it's a little bitter, not super tasty, a little aftertaste in my mouth. Just like me after this Kings loss last night. I don't know if I've ever been so invested in the Kings season. Like every game, I'm just like, the Kings have to win. They have to win. But this season, that's how it is for me. It's like I know any loss will drop the Kings a game, a rank, sometimes 2 ranks. A win will just boost us up the standings. But it doesn't seem like we're going up too much. I mean, we went up to 6, but I would like to see us try to push for a 4th spot. We need to string a few more wins together. We'll get 2 wins, lose 1, 2 wins, lose 2, win 1, lose 1. So just the back and forth. It would really be good to see the Kings string together like a 5-game win streak or something like that. It would really help. It bode well for them in the standings. But yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world, obviously, but the Kings need these games, especially these ones at home. I just feel like every time they lose at home, it's just like another missed opportunity, especially against a team that's got about the similar record as you. So, and they're on the East. So the East, I don't believe, is as tough as the West. So, in my opinion, the Kings should have beat this team at home. At least they had that advantage. They're home. But Jalen Brunson came in with more energy and busted that ass last night for 42 points. That's my cup of Joe. Quick stats. So the Sacramento Kings were at the end of the first, they were up by 1. By the second, by the halftime, they were losing 53-48. They obviously didn't close off the half very well. And didn't finish off third. Well, I guess they scored some more points than the Knicks in the third, but the fourth, they just didn't seem like they were able to get past the Knicks defense. They were only able to score 17 points, and they looked like panic mode. Sometimes the Kings go into panic mode. More on that later. But the Kings leading scorer, or excuse me, the Knicks leading scorer was Jalen Brunson with 42 points. He was basically a one-man army. Dante DiVincenzo pitched in with 15 points. Alec Burks had 12 off the bench. The Knicks didn't score a whole lot of points. The Kings actually played really good defense in this game. The only problem is the Knicks played better defense, and when the Knicks really clamped up on the Kings couldn't do anything. They couldn't be more physical than the Knicks. And then the Kings' leading scorer was Domantas Sabonis with 21 points. De'Aaron Fox had 20. Harrison Barnes with 16. Malik Monk had 18. Guys had decent scoring on the night. Kevin Huerter only had played 16 minutes and had 0 points. Not sure what's going on with Kevin Huerter. He gets in the games, he shoots these threes, and he's bricking all over the place. And then he gets yanked and doesn't get back in the game because of his defense. Keegan Murray was able to pitch in with 11 points. Not too much scoring off the bench on this night. With Keon Ellis getting 5 points, playing a lot of defense. He did have a little collapse at the end, though, where Jalen Brunson was able to drive on him pretty easily. Domantas had 14 rebounds, another double-double for Domantas Sabonis. His double-double streak is still alive. De'Aaron Fox pitched in with 9 assists, which is great. And then field goal percentage. There's a lot in this number right here, 35%. That's pretty bad from field goal. Kings were not able to hit shots. They were 30 from 85. And when the Kings don't hit shots, I mean, just like any other team, if you're not hitting shots, it's going to be hard to win the game. Very low 3-point percentage, but so did the Knicks. Well, they were able to score one more three than us. Free throws about even, 80%. The Knicks had 10 more rebounds than the Kings, 52 to 42. And the rest of the stats were pretty much even. Points to the paint, 44 for the Knicks, 36 for the Kings. Eye test. Eye test. Yeah. Eye test. Eye test. Eye test. The Kings need an eye test. So for most of the night, it was really obvious that nobody was able to stay in front of Jalen Brunson. And then also this was a game where there was a lot of fouling, just a lot of hacking. And the refs were like, I don't know, the refs seemed like they really affected the game by not calling fouls. There was plenty of times when guys were getting hit on the arms, going up, getting bumped or getting slapped, getting hacked, and there was no call. I seen plenty of times Domantas Sabonis was able to went up and had guys draped all over him or was getting slapped and hit, and there's no call. Same with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox was screaming at the refs at one point about getting fouled. So it is what it is. It's a bang bang game. Things happen so quickly. These guys are human. It's the human eye and human judgment calls. So what can you say about the officials besides, as long as they're calling it the same both ways, you got to kind of play through it. And the Kings weren't able to play through it. And this thing with Kevin Huerter scoring 0 points, it's kind of crazy to me. I'm like, Kevin Huerter can't score. I mean, what's going on with this dude? He needs extra shooting practice. I don't know what's going on with Kevin Huerter. I don't know if he's pouting or what, but his absence on offense is kind of hurting us a little bit. I believe for us to only score 91 points at home, it's a little concerning to me. Let a Eastern Conference pretty much defensive team come in and slap us and hack us around like that, and we're not able to respond. I don't know. It's one of those teams. I guess the Kings aren't very good against super aggressive defensive teams, or I should say, super physical defensive teams. And then in the fourth quarters, the Kings seemed like they went into panic mode. So panic mode doesn't work well for the Kings because then guys like De'Aaron Fox go into isolation mode or just shooting just bad threes. And Domantas Sabonis starts moving too fast, starts turning the ball over, starts throwing the ball away. They called him for a travel last night. He got caught up in the hole, but it was more like he was getting hacked and smacked, and they weren't calling anything, and he couldn't do anything besides turn back out and pass the ball, and they made some bogus traveling calls. So it is what it is. The Kings are going to have to learn how to play against half-court defensive teams like this. And obviously, they're going to have to find somebody that can stay in front of guys like Jalen Brunson, who's not a tall guy. He's just a quick guy. So this lesson learned. Kings need to learn how to also help defense. Harrison Barnes pitched in 16 points, so he didn't do bad. Keon Ellis only had 5. He didn't start though, but 5 points. He had a nice drive at the end of the game. Davion Mitchell didn't have any points. And it's kind of concerning at home. These guys should be able to score, but that's my eye test. Bottom line, the Kings morning after. Bottom line. Today's bottom line is my bottom line is that I mean, it's not a life or death situation. It's not a panic game, but they're at home. They have this long homestand. They only have one game left now. It's against the Memphis Grizzlies. So they lost some games during this homestand that I thought they should have won. And I keep saying it over and over. All these games are important. They can't come in lackadaisical against any of these teams. They can't come in thinking that they can just turn on the gas later, because they showed that sometimes it doesn't work. And they have to take advantage of these situations like this where you're playing a team with about the same record as you on the East from the Eastern Conference in your crib. That's the bottom line. Kings gonna have to. They can't play down to the level of the competition, which it almost kind of seemed like they did tonight, and then really got D'd up on and just couldn't overcome the physicality of the Knicks. That's my bottom line. Next up, Monday, March 18th, in Sacramento, the Kings will face off versus the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies are without Ja Morant for the season, so they are a lower echelon team. It's another opportunity for the Kings to go in and take advantage of this opportunity by beating this lower echelon team, putting their foot on their necks early and keeping their foot on their necks throughout the whole game. The Memphis Grizzlies are 23-45. They are without their leader. I don't want the Kings to come into this game thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, this team is not that great. We could go in and we could play how we want when we want. They need to go in, dominate this team from the beginning, from the first quarter and on, and keep their foot on their neck the whole game, like I just said. This is not a team to play around with. You don't want a bunch of young guys coming in here and dominating you on your home court with athleticism and speed. They have right now they're led by Derrick Rose. They have Gigi Jackson, Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams. So basically they're a little better down low. They have Jaren Jackson, Steven Adams, half-court team with Derrick Rose at the end of his career. Desmond Bane's a good shooter. As long as they keep these guys out of the paint and make sure their shooters aren't hitting, the Kings should be able to beat this team. I mean, come on. Betting line. There's no betting line for the Kings tonight. They don't put the betting line until the day of the game, like midnight, something like that. So tonight there's a few games going on. They're saying Orlando Magic is going to win by at least 11. Boston 15 over the Wizards. San Antonio Spurs 2 over the Nets. And they have the Clippers 9.5 over the Hawks. How do you guys feel about those games? Do you feel those spreads are good? Or the Celtics are going to win, but maybe by less than 15? You can make a bet on that. Spurs, do you think they're going to win by more than 2? If so, you would win right there. These are straight up money line bets. So whoever you think is going to win the game. Do you think these are correct? If you want to do some bets, use the link below. Bet us. That's what I do. This is this site right here. This is what I use to do my sports betting. It's a great site. You can use it anywhere. It's a great site and app. Use the link below. They give you free money and it helps the channel as well. Thank you. I got a question for you guys. How do you guys feel about Jalen Brunson coming in and torching us for 42? while we're in the middle of this playoff push and playoff race. How do you feel about the Kings defense? And how do you feel about nobody being able to stop him on the team at all or do anything about it? Comment below, let me know. Comments also help the channel, so comment, let me know what you think. And also, guys, please help out the channel. I'm new, but I'm trying to grow the channel. If you liked any of the information I gave, if you're watching this far, please click that like button. Also, subscribe. Please subscribe. We got some more fun stuff coming up later. We're also going to do some live games and some live game chat and some other really cool stuff. So you're going to want to be here for that. Subscribe. If you like hearing Kings talk, Kings news, you like talking Kings, also, I ask you to subscribe. Make a comment. Comments help as well. Comment on how I'm doing. Comment on the Kings. Comment on the weather. Comment on anything. I don't care. It helps the channel. It helps me kick the algorithm's ass. And also, if you don't mind, please share the content. Share the content to any of your social media. I don't care. Let them know there's this guy out here doing Kings talk. Or if you think I'm trash, say that. I don't care. Just make a comment. And I have a motivational quote for you today. This comes from Carmelo Anthony. And it goes like this. Every morning you have two choices. Stay asleep with your dreams, or you could wake up and chase them. That's an excellent quote by Carmelo Anthony. Every morning you have two choices. You could stay asleep with your dreams, or you could wake up and chase them. Excellent quote from Carmelo Anthony. And that's pretty much all that I have for today, guys. I really appreciate you for watching me this far, and I really appreciate you for joining me on another episode of the Kings Morning After Midday Cup with Joe and Jay. Oh man, my coffee is not that great today, but hey, hopefully the Kings will get a victory against Memphis on Monday, tomorrow, and after you check out that game, watch my review on the next day. Go ahead and subscribe to do that. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. But anyway, I'm out. But before you go, check out my moves. It's good.